Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. It is great to have all of you who are here in the chat. And as you see, we've had a last minute change of plans. Oz is not here, and instead we have Josh from Atheist Uprising and Claire Bear.
Me.
And I thank both of you for bailing me out at the last minute.
Oh, gosh. Always happy to help you out. Okay?
Always, always happy to be here.
You're so supportive of the community in general. Why wouldn't we?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, Oz had something come up and he couldn't make it. And the topic that we had planned for today was to talk about Oz's new album. Oz has an album coming out at the end of this month. And I can't remember the name of it. It was Dead Night or something like that. But anyway, you saw it in this. If you looked at the thumbnail, the name of the album was on the thumbnail. And I probably was not the best person to introduce a music album because I don't listen to music.
That's right. You don't. Like none.
That's
none
right.
At all.
Some people think that's really weird, but there's one person who really understands that well, and that is Chris, Atheist Pastor. He was wanting to get an impression of Americans listening to Australian music. And I told him, I don't listen to music at all. And he said, oh, come on, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I did. I listened to it. And the third song he played, I started to cry. Oh, Sandy's got it for us. Devil's Night is the name of the album. Anyway, I started to cry. And he asked, what's wrong? And it was the video that went with the song. The song was singing about, I don't even remember the lyrics, but in the video, there was a man yelling at some children. And I work with abused children, so it was rather emotionally intense for me. And I said, this is why I don't listen to music. I can listen to a song and be depressed for the next 3 days because the song made me sad. I get so emotionally involved in the music that it's too much for me. So I just don't listen to music at all.
For me, it's the opposite way. I love listening to music and definitely within the moods that I'm in and stuff like that. Like when I was younger and preparing for a boxing match, I would listen to a lot rougher music in a sense to pump me up. And then more or less nowadays, I'm just listening to classical music. It's the weirdest thing, actually. The older I get, the more I think like listen to classical music, orchestras. It's just like, why? What's the point? But
classical is the one thing I can listen to.
Oh yeah,
I'm good with classical.
It's Bach, one of the best. I know that. But all in all, I just wanted that is not true. I did send the link. I did.
Well, to be fair, I only sent the link to Josh like 5 minutes ago, so he didn't exactly have a lot of time.
But all in all, it's I guess it matters, right? It matters what type of music you're listening to, because there is some that can make you depressed and there are some that can get you excited, aggravated, angry, like it can reach all different types of your emotional spectrum just by listening to music.
Have you ever watched MASH?
Oh,
MASH? No, I have not.
That's a classic.
There's an episode of MASH where Radar gets a date with a woman who's an intellectual. And Hawkeye is trying to coach him on how to talk to a woman who's more educated than what he's used to. And one of the things that they realize is that she likes classical music. He said, well, I don't know anything about classical music. What do I do? And he said, oh, if she brings up classical music, just go, ah, Bach. And that just says it all. and so she brought up music and and asked, "Well, who's your favorite classical musician?" And he goes, "Ah, Bach." And she's,
Mhm.
"Well, what does that mean?" He doesn't know what to do because that's all he knows.
She's like, "I don't know, Bach." Yeah, that would kind of stymie the conversation a bit. I like that character. Radar was so lovable. He was just
Mhm.
so smart, but so socially like awkward. It was adorable. Yeah.
My high
Mhm.
school choir director knew him from his days in high school. He was a drummer, and his right hand is withered, but
Mm-hmm.
he was still able to drum. And he said, if you watch MASH, or maybe it was his left, I forget, but if you watch MASH, they're very careful only to show one of his hands. They never
Mm-hmm.
show the other hand.
Right.
Oh, you knew that?
Interesting.
Yeah, I did. There was a little tidbit. I think I read it on a Reddit somewhere. Like MASH has been a favorite for a long time. That was
Mhm.
it was it was a way of bringing comedy but serious subjects to light, in a way that you could digest it. It was during the war, like it was about the war. It was really hard subjects sometimes that they brought up and real issues, but then there was
Mhm.
always Alan Alda and that just snarky. I'm a big fan of snarky humor, and Alan Alda is a king when it comes to that. It's just a great classic. But the music in the beginning, that song, that gets me every time. Every time.
That is one of the 3 most dangerous pieces of music ever written.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mm.
And
it's a hard
that's
subject. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
um, that song, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Starry Night
Oh
will
yeah.
put me in a suicidal mood. And
Oh
those 3 songs are the primary reason that I don't listen to
no,
music.
no. Starry Night. Is that the Elton John, Daniel, my friend? That one? Is that it? Mm.
Um, I know the Josh Groban version, but
Okay.
I don't believe Josh Groban was the first one to sing it. I'm
That
not
is
sure.
some voice that he has too, Josh
Mhm.
Groban. Oh my God, bring me to see. Like now, I listen to all kinds of music, like everything you can think of, rap, rave, all of it. Um, Classical, I love it. Classical guitar, like it sends me going. Classical piano,
Mm.
everything. Even
Mhm.
movie drama music. Like I get into the composers on that, like how they can layer that stuff and bring emotion to a scene just with the back music. Like it's. I hear you on the emotional part of music. It can be overwhelming for a lot of people. But for
Mhm.
me, it's a way to, it's my thermometer check. Oh, I'm living. I hear it, I feel it, I'm alive. Like it's how I regulate my day that way. Like a
Like,
pulse check. Because you could just go through your day, like we all know how that is. You get into moods and things, and everything just becomes a day by day by day. And music keeps me reacting to whatever's going on around me.
And we started straight into this, and I didn't give either one of you a chance to introduce yourselves. Now, both of you have been on the show before, so most people probably know you, but I will let you introduce yourselves anyway and talk up your own channels a little bit. Josh, you go ahead and go first.
oh, sure. I was going to actually have Claire go first because I haven't heard of her channel yet, and I really do want to delve
Oh,
into that. So if
oh,
she wants to go first, I don't mind.
that's so kind of you, Josh. Well, thank you. I have a small channel. It's a little bit. I've been around for a year or more. It's very eclectic. Granny can tell you it's got a little bit of everything. I do private one-on-one chats in my library chat series where we talk on topics of philosophy and atheism, all kinds of issues that might be topical as far as mental health and things that are going on. And then I do some wild stuff too. Like I have a crazy series called What the Actual F, which talks about all the shenanigans in social media and the things that people do that are just like, I just need to get it out because I don't want to blow up about it. Like, can you believe they said this? Can you believe they did this? And it's kind of like parody and humor. I use humor a lot to make my point. I also do a lot of true crime and legal updates. I am Granny will tell you, I am not a lawyer or a paralegal, but I love that stuff. It's my everyday life. I read legal briefs over coffee, and I watch all of it, trials, everything. I just am fascinated, but I always like a hook on it. Like, I don't like it just the normal stuff. I like crazy things. Like, I'm covering Masterson right now, and not because of what the trial's about, but because Scientology is involved in how they're mucking it
Mm.
up. And that to me is fascinating, how they just kill trees on a regular, you know what I'm talking about, right? Granny, like
Mhm,
they
mhm.
they are the killers of forests as far as paperwork, throwing stuff at people just to keep things busy. And they actually took their case to the Supreme Court, and they don't want to hear it. And I was thrilled. They actually, the defense lawyers in that case actually entered one of the books of ethics in Scientology into evidence, and then got mad because it's being used against them as evidence. And I'm like, okay, there's the hook. There's the hook right there. Like, well, hello. Like,
You introduced
yeah,
the bud?
yes, this was, I kid you not, you would have loved it, you would have loved it. But yeah, I like to cover the part. I try to stay unbiased. I try to stay, but I always tell people I'm being biased as heck about certain things because I find it ludicrous. But that's it. And I even do weird stuff like covering on Black Mirror, which is a nerdy passion of mine. Charlie Brooker and his warped brain. I just love it. So yeah, that's it. That's my channel. That's enough about me. Tell us about you, Josh, because I've been watching some of your stuff, and I like it. I do. I like your take on things. It's fresh and it's inspiring to hear. It's new. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And seriously, I'll even stop by because I really do like. My father is a lawyer,
Oh.
and the really cool thing is that I've grown up within this type of stuff as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I love engaging in these particular conversations and looking at
Mm-hmm.
law in general, in a sense, and really looking. And that's why there's a YouTube channel that my girlfriend and I sometimes watch. It's called Law Something. I forget what it's called.
Oh, there's so many. There's
There's
like
there's a lot.
there's
There's a
law and
lot.
crime. There's
I think it's Law and Crime. I think
yeah.
it's that one.
Now they do a lot of real crime, like they do trial coverage. Like you can watch inside, like trial coverage. Like right now, I think they're doing Parkland, and they're doing, you know, they did Halderson and a couple of others. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It's
I got
interesting.
really upset with Grisham's latest novel because in his earlier novels,
Mhm.
he was always very true to the law.
He was, yeah.
And in the latest one, I was going, you can't do that.
You
That's not
know,
how that works.
and when I read it, I was like, did he watch the Depp Heard trial and all that ridiculousness Lane did and stuff like that? Because this is the truth is, in public trials lately, Granny, you would be appalled as a lawyer to see what they're getting away with, what they're actually doing. You're like, what, like, I'm not even a lawyer and I know you can't do that. Like, what, like arguing with the judge? Like saying,
Mm.
"Oh, excuse me, but no." I'm like, "You did not just say that to the judge. You didn't. You did like." It's crazy. They got no manners. They got no legal manners anymore out there. So some of it, I guess maybe that's his take on it. That things are getting that crazy. Like, where the hell is the law lately? That's what I took from his book. Like, what happened
Well,
to the law lately?
I read his author's note at the end of the book, and
Hmm.
he admitted, he said, you know, some of the laws in this book I made up.
Hmm.
Some laws I took some license with and kind of twisted them around to be the way I wanted them to be. But I'm a writer, not a lawyer. I can do that.
Yeah,
And so
which
that,
he admitted it. He owned it at least. He made a
right.
better story. And I do think it was
No.
his take on it's really that crazy out there now that this is what
Mm.
is going on. Like the law is getting a little convoluted.
We
Mm.
might be talking about a different book because I said latest, and I'm not sure that the one I'm talking about is actually the latest. I'm talking about A Time for Mercy.
Oh, okay.
And I was really angry about that book because in the book he has a character that's a 14-year-old rape victim that
Mm-hmm.
gets pregnant,
Right.
and he talks her into having the baby,
Mm-hmm.
because he tells her we can't determine the parent of the baby until after the baby's born.
Right.
And I'm
And
going,
that's just
that's
pushing it.
bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely could do a
But
DNA
you know
test
what?
on a
As far
baby
you
before it's
can
born.
actually do like that medically was wrong. Like that was
Mhm,
totally wrong because
mhm.
yes, you can with a blood type. You can
Yes.
definitely you can actually just through science take both parents, suspected parents' blood type and figure it out. Like
Mhm.
you can figure it out yes or no through the
Well,
probabilities without
that
even doing a DNA match. Like, come on.
well,
Like,
if they did an abortion, they can absolutely do a DNA test on the
mm-hmm,
fetal remains. And then
exactly.
he was saying, "Well, we can't do an abortion. You can't have an abortion because we need to have the fetal remains at the time of trial. So preserve them." I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what's your problem?
Mm,
Mm.
And
yep.
it's obvious that Grisham is completely opposed to abortion, even for a 14-year-old rape victim.
Mm-hmm.
And
But he,
and
you know what, he has come out and said that in press before. I've seen it in articles written about
mhm,
him. He is
yeah,
very pro life. Um, and
pro-death.
yeah. Well, they say, but my thing is like, are you really pro life, or maybe after you're born, are you going to be pro life? Then you're going to be supportive. Like, where's the
Oh,
legislation to take care of these kids? Like, come on, that's not really pro life. You're just pro embryo. Really, that's
okay.
convenient. That's quite convenient because they ain't costing you nothing. Because you're really not pro life. Because once they're born, they forget them. They don't have a name. They don't have a start. They don't have a vote. They don't have a care in the world for them.
Now, this is one of the things I kind of wanted to get into was Herschel Walker. Um,
Oh
yeah, I
God.
can't understand anyone possibly saying no abortion in the case of a pregnancy that is endangering the life of the mother. Nope, too bad. Death sentence. You must die.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, when is the
how can you
embryo's
call
rights
that
more?
pro-life
Right.
when you tell a woman, we're not going to give you medical treatment, you must
Mm-mm.
die?
It's pro embryo. It's not life because
But it's
I'm
not
alive
even
already.
pro-embryo. You're going to
And
kill the embryo anyway.
right, they care more about that than they do whether I live or not. Like, that's what I
Exactly.
say. Like, get the heck out of, like, I've been here. I've earned the right for you to give a damn about me. I voted. I pay my taxes. Like, you should actually care about me. Like, I'm not being selfish by saying this. Like, yo, I'm a functioning, contributing adult in society. I have rights. Where are mine? Why do you feel you can meddle like that and tell me that those rights are more, and you're going to make decisions for me about my body and what I can do based on an embryo that can't think or vote for you yet? Like, come on. What? No. Mm-mm.
It all
And
comes
over a
down to
personal
religion.
belief. It's a personal belief and it's got no business in my uterus. Okay.
It all comes down to pandering to the religious right.
Exactly. And I'm all for them believing whatever they want. Just don't tell me what to do. You
Mhm.
can do whatever you want.
Right.
I
You don't
believe
have
in
to
your
have an
rights.
abortion.
You don't have to have one. You do
Mhm.
not. And I would never make you. I want you to make your own decisions. I want you to believe whatever you want to believe. You want to believe in God. You want to believe it's wrong. You want to believe I'm a sinner because I'm talking like this. Go right ahead. Just don't tell me what to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think that's sometimes what it comes to, right?
Yeah.
Because your beliefs now need to be transposed onto other individuals.
But when you're the
So as long
minority,
as those individuals are still doing sinning or are
mm-hmm.
sinning in a sense in the eye of the Lord, well, now it's up to you to kind of convince them or force them not to have these
Yeah.
type of
But here
sinful.
in America, 70%, right? Granted, less no, are against them telling us what to do in regards to
Mhm.
abortion. 70%. So
Absolutely.
where does the minority get over? Like, we believe this, on screen and crying from my soul because I have an opinion that I have choice. Now, I'm not saying I'm going out there and having abortions. I'm just saying you don't have the right to tell me I can't.
Mhm.
You
Right.
have no idea what I actually believe, any of them saying any of that stuff about me. have no idea how I really feel about it because it's personal. It's my choice. I'm keeping it to myself. It's none of your damn business. That's the way it should be.
I completely agree. I completely agree. But the problem is, you said that it was 70%, correct?
Yeah,
That
they
perfectly fine.
even Christians are saying people should have the right. They don't think that legally you can go in there and force this on people. It should be a choice that they make on their own, even if they're not for abortion. They don't believe in what's going on right now, enforcing the rights against people, taking the right away to make up their own mind.
Right. No, I completely agree. But that's the thing, though, is that I find that the right knows how to mobilize, sadly,
Mhm.
better
You
than the
mean
left
you mean
does. Or I should say,
fanaticalize?
than the
Yes,
progressives
yes. To
do.
get extreme, yes. Do they know how to get radical? Yeah. Do they know how to organize on it? Like, look right now with Flynn's Christian nationalist tour that's going on, right? He's actually asking people to arm themselves against us, trying to put evil in their homes by our own beliefs. He's telling them to get guns to protect
Yeah.
themselves about the evil left, who are all of a sudden, anyone who thinks left politically is an atheist. Did you know that? I didn't know
Oh,
our
no,
numbers
I
were
didn't
so
know
big.
that. That's
I,
interesting.
I heard this on Flynn, like actually said it. And we're elitists too. We all think we know better than everybody else. And we're
Yeah,
going to,
some of us are.
and apparently we have mind control powers because we can force them to do anything against their will. Get that? Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Getting back to what's
but I think what they're doing, in towards a certain extent, is smart, right? Because they're doing an us versus them type tactic,
Mhm.
while the other side is trying to say we tactic, right?
Exactly.
We together can do this. The
Mhm.
individuals on the right are like, no, 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 no. Anybody
Mhm.
who does not follow in our general direction is not us. And henceforth, they are
Mhm.
separate from us, and
Mhm.
henceforth, they are the enemy of us.
Yeah, and I never go for any of that enemy propaganda stuff. Like that's just that's small thinking, and I don't know why they get power doing it. To me, that's really narrow, small. That's the argument you have when you don't have an argument. Does that make
I
any
would
sense?
agree,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
I
No.
wanted to get back to Sandy's comment. We'll leave that up to the so-called God. It's not up to man. And that's my biggest argument against the religious argument for abortion is if God is really concerned about abortion, why is God creating unwanted pregnancies?
Yes.
I mean, if God thinks that a rape victim should not have an abortion, then God shouldn't be putting fetuses into rape victims.
Incest and 14-year-olds, like, yeah, why is that going
Right.
on? Mm-hmm.
Why is God doing that if
Mm-hmm.
God was really so against this?
Mm-hmm. Because they're not looking at it like that. If those are the lessons to be learned, then let those lessons to be learned. We need to have this. This is what is this because man can't control himself. Like it is not like if you're going to go against God's will, you're going against it. Abortion's not the issue. The cause of it is, the cause of the need of it is, and that's what they need to be addressing more than the actual act itself.
And Sandy's right. We also live in a world where women are being killed for not wearing their headscarves correctly.
I just did a stream with Amy Hogan on that yesterday, on that whole thing, and that's a perfect example of when you get a political power that's using a religious right to try to enforce new laws, and that should be the lesson that all Americans look at right now and see what's going on over there, because that's what we're heading towards. If you keep down this thing that you think religion belongs in politics, that you think that because you're a minority and you have a voice and an opinion, that should be more and be part of political, societal governing, this is what we're heading to: anarchy. Like people getting shot in the back, children dying in protests. They're shooting children.
I
Like,
really think that is what the more conservatives actually want. They will deny all day long that they're in favor of Sharia law, but it's basically what they want.
then they should listen to Michael Flynn's escapades during this Christian nationalist tour that he's doing, because that's exactly what it sounds like to me. Exactly what
Mhm.
you just said. He's calling them to arm themselves. He's calling them to riot, to fight to the death for their religious belief because that's more important. This is not cool. I'm sorry if I have a bit of a cold, Ox. I don't think I have an accent. I'm from Jersey. It's Jersey. Okay. It's not South African. And when I do get passionate, it gets worse. So this is a very passionate subject for me. So, yeah.
No, it's definitely understandable. I see why it can be a passionate subject, a topic matter, I mean, in order to delve into. But that's the thing where I think that sometimes religion does pass in through politics, right? Like that's the only way that religion can kind of exist is through politics. It's through being relevant in today's world, in a sense. And how does it be relevant is through politics, is through society, is through the propagation of churches and mosques and so on and so forth, right? And these type of things are the thing that keep the idea alive. And that's the whole entire point. And also I find that certain individuals, not all, but certain individuals, when they do get older, they do become more conservative in a sense. Not all people. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying certain individuals.
I was going to say, I did just the opposite.
Yes.
I started very conservative and I've been getting more and more liberal.
You know what?
Awesome.
I think it's impossible to think that a person's personal bias or beliefs in religion when they become a politician isn't going to come into play. Of course it is. And there are areas of our country, right, Kelly, that are quite more religious than other areas, you know, and have, you know, if you happen to be a politician from that area, you're going to have different goals and different agenda. And I can accept that. I can accept it to a point until you try to bring things to the Supreme Court and ruin 50 years of rights of choice on Roe v. Wade. Like that's a little crazy to me. It could have been done better. If they had an issue with it as far as amendments or anything in the Constitution, then they should have sent it back for legislation. And part of the problem is it not being properly done in the beginning. If you just use a case like that and you don't actually set forth actual law for equality on it in choice, this is the problem. If you want equality, you need to legislate equality truly, without words like gender in it, like man, woman, child. Get rid of that crap. Let's just talk about straight out equality. There's things about men's rights that are going on. There's things about women's rights that are going on because people don't take the time to really think it out carefully, this stuff. If you read like laws to help in regards to even abuse are listed as women and children. What about men? Like, you know, that's offensive. You know, like it don't happen to them. We forget about them because it's a hot topic and we want to get a bill put through. So like the word doesn't appear. It leads to problems, you know. In Roe v. Wade needs to be legislated properly. I don't know how you feel about it, Kelly, but I think that's going to help a lot. The states are doing it now. And then once the states get the majority, perhaps they can do it federally and it'll mean something. Well,
there's another topic that I kind of wanted to bring up. And did any of you hear what my senator said at a Trump rally the other day?
No.
Okay,
no,
just a minute before I'm going to leave you hanging on the hook while I mention something to Beck. I asked Beck if he wanted to join us, and Beck said, honestly, I don't know anything about legislation or government stuff. It's open mic night, so you bring up whatever topic you want, Beck. And besides, Josh has another show to do, and Claire has to leave before we're done. So I need someone to come and join me before.
Yeah, come up. We can keep it down to something else. Absolutely, please.
Right.
It's been a long time since I had a screen with Big.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Anyway, what my senator said was he was at a Trump rally, and he said those Democrats, they want to give reparations. Those Democrats are soft on crime, and they want to give reparations to the people who do the crime.
That is, that's quite racist. Without being
like just
and oh god,
I sent him a letter.
Uh,
I sent him an email this morning telling him how ashamed I was that he was my
Oh gosh.
senator.
mm,
And I was just checking my email to see if I got a response, and I did, but it's a form email which says, "Dear Kelly, thank you for contacting me to share your thoughts on this important issue. As your senator, I appreciate the opportunity to represent you in Washington, D.C. and address the concerns of all who call the great state of Alabama home. Your comment has been passed along to the appropriate staff member. We appreciate your patience as we review your correspondence." In other words, no one's read it yet.
In other words, who's the appropriate staff member that collects all the racist like the against racism comments? Like, did you actually say that, dude? Like,
There's
what?
oh yeah, it's quite public. You can watch it on CNN, you can watch it on a number of the different news outlets. And CNN had a nice panel discussion with some people who were directly affected by it.
Wow.
And they talked about how abhorrent it was. Um, that calling all people who were enslaved people criminals. I mean,
Right.
how do you get that they were enslaved because they were criminals? And what's even worse is it's been 4 days now, and he's made no attempt whatsoever to apologize or to walk back those statements.
And I'm sure it's all over the media, right? It
Oh,
got
yeah.
picked up. I'm sure it's everywhere, and he still isn't saying anything. Yeah.
Actually, it's not anywhere near as much as I thought it should be.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, I'm bringing it up wherever I can because I don't think enough people know just what an awful racist person Senator Tommy Tuberville is.
Okay, well, you heard it here. Like,
indeed.
that was a definite racist. I would say that was a totally racist comment that was
Mhm.
made. That
Yeah.
brings up all kinds of stuff that's unnecessary. And putting it on Democrats, why? Because of equality? Like, come on. It's just the divide in our country is still too much on this issue. Everybody tries to sweep it under the carpet, but it still divides our country greatly. And it's a shame that they had to make it like that, really. Yeah, that is wow. Wow. And yet,
Okay.
you see what Sandy says in there? That they're actually, is it Sandy? No, it's Purple that said they're bringing a
Bring a
lawsuit against
lawsuit against
Biden.
Biden for the loan forgiveness as racist.
Why?
I
They
don't know.
are not more like, how did they do that when, as far as I see, there are more, as far as in my circle, what I see. Now, I didn't look at the statistics yet, but I see more white Americans, young white Americans with this student debt than I do any of any other color or creed.
Yep.
So, like, how is that racist?
It's racist in favor of white people. White people are getting all the money.
But they have the debt. Like, if the others, it's based on how much debt you have, not the color of your skin. That's not in the law that I saw. Actually, in the law, it says based on income and debt and ratios and things like that. And never did it say where do you live, what color are you, or even how old you are. So, like,
Mhm.
what? Like, oh, yeah.
Okay, let's change the topic to see if we can maybe lure Beck in here.
Okay.
What's something Beck might enjoy talking about? Something that's going to hook Beck. Tiny houses.
Tiny
Beck,
houses are cool.
Yeah, tiny houses are cool. They're very economical.
Beck, come
Sadly, I
talk
can't fit
tiny
in
with
them.
us. Yeah. Are you very tall? You appear in your chair to be a very tall person.
Yes,
Okay.
6'9" actually. So.
Wow.
Yeah, you would
That
not
is-
do well at a tiny house.
Well, it could be
No.
narrow and just really high. Like, it could still be a tiny house. This tiny house is about the number of rooms and how you organize things. So maybe it built properly. Yeah.
It could be, but I thought that like tiny homes were the ones that you kind of see where they're either like 1 or 2 floors, kind of like narrow in a sense, and like
Yeah, but if like for you, if they just raise the roof, like, because they can be custom built, like you just need everything a little higher, but it could still be narrow and a small
That is
amount of
true.
rooms and the same storage. Hopefully.
But yeah,
Yeah.
still don't trust the tiny homes for me.
Yeah. I look forward to it. It would be better, I think, now than keeping a big home. Like, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You ever
Yeah,
notice
boy.
the more space you have, the more things you put in it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I need to downsize just to keep everything like just what I need. 'Cause-
I need to downsize, and I know a couple things I can get rid of, but I don't know enough things that I can get rid of to be able to downsize enough.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm in the same predicament right now. My room is literally like a storage.
Mm,
That's why I'm not sitting in there doing this in the
mhm,
room. Just don't need people to see all that clutter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mhm.
I do not know how to handle clutter. I've got too much clutter in my house, and I don't know how to keep it clean, so I just leave
Oh,
it be.
Beck is saying his computer is not cooperating with him.
Oh, okay. Oh well, we tried. We
Mhm.
tried.
Next time we'll get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sandy says excuses, excuses.
Oh no! Don't make him feel bad. Don't make him feel bad.
I think Beck knows the spirit in which that was intended.
Yeah, he's good.
Mm.
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, yeah, I know my office is like the catch-all for everything. You don't know where to put anywhere else in the house. So my office is like a clutter dome. I couldn't stream from my office ever. Like,
Hi, Jenny.
hi.
Good evening. How's everyone?
Mm,
We're fine. How are you?
Still recovering, but getting better.
mm,
Okay.
hi.
COVID's been very nasty to me this time around.
Oh, I'm sorry you got it again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the upside, I've got a lot of sleep time in, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, for an insomniac, that's great. Like I hate that it had to happen that way, but
Mm-hmm.
I can relate. I did too. I got like 11-hour days in, sometimes 16-hour days when I had it. That's
Wow.
a lot of sleep for somebody that only sleeps 4 hours a day
Hmm.
usually. But yeah.
Hey, Purple.
Hi.
Perp
Hello.
derp, perp derp.
So, Jenny, I understand you recently had a trip and you visited family and it went better than you expected.
Well, the trip wasn't to visit family. The trip was to go to my 50th high school reunion, and that's all
Ah,
better than
okay.
expected. My family was still the droll, annoying people that they've always been.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I really expected it to. Background to those who don't know, I 50th high school reunion. I haven't seen any of these people in 50 years. We had our graduation night party down at the lakefront, and I blew town immediately afterwards, and haven't just seen anybody. So that includes since I've transitioned. And so I expected to have a lot of trouble. It's assuming that people got older and conservative and nasty and Trumpy and that all that kind of stuff. And it just didn't occur. I mean, there were a few people who gave me the evil eye a number of times, and that's just fine. I don't care. Um, but for the most part, everybody was very accepting and very gracious. I would say even it was a good time. I'm glad I
Good.
went.
I'm glad that worked out for you.
Yeah, I think everybody should. If you're not one who's ever gone to your high school reunions, when you hit something like the 50th, you should do it because first of all, it's probably the last time you'll get a chance to see everybody,
Mhm.
um, since everyone will be dead pretty soon.
Oh,
But it's just nice to rekindle and you know see how old people have gotten. Oh God, they look so old.
Well, this year was my 40th high school reunion, but there were only 3 people in that school I wanted to talk to when I was there, so I don't see a point in going back.
mm,
That's what I've been kind of trying to decide. In 6 years, it will be time for my 50th. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go. Is there anyone I even would want to see? There is
mm,
one guy that I'd want to see, and he might be there. Actually, there's two people I'd want to see. There's a girl that I was close to in high school, and we lost touch with her. I heard some people say that she kind of went nuts after high school because Beck is here. Hey, Beck,
Backpack.
good to
hey.
see you.
Who,
Anyway,
me?
she came from a conservative Christian, sheltered life. And I heard that once she finally got out from under her parents' thumbs, that she kind of went nuts with alcohol and drugs. And I never heard from her again, and I could never find her, even though I've looked for her a number of times on social media. So if I could reconnect with her, I would want to, but I'm not sure that she would. I don't know what happened to her.
That's
Well,
sad.
that's sad to hear.
That's sad.
Mhm.
They also did a thing at our where they just did a little presentation of all the people in the class who are dead that they knew about. You know, I know my class was 1,100 people, so there being 100 some people who are dead is actually pretty good numbers, I guess. But it was real sad to see some people that you were friends with and would hope to see again that they're gone. It's kind of weird.
So how you been, Beck? I haven't seen you in a while.
You know, I've just had a little roller coaster in my life, but I'm all
I know
right.
you have. Mhm.
Has everybody heard about that? Jesus.
Well,
No, I think I'm
I just heard
behind on
that
it.
you'd been on the road a lot. You know, every time I would ask you to
Oh.
show, you'd say, "I'm going to be on the road that day," and I can't make it. I'm on the road that day. So that's the roller coaster I knew you to be on, is that you were traveling a lot.
Well, I was at the time I was traveling out to New York. We'd go to Chicago, New York, St. Louis, and all that. And when I'm in New York, when the time you start, you know, it's like, or no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. No, I was in LA. That's what it was. It was too early in the day. The last time you tried to get me on, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fine. The traveling thing's fine. I just take the computer with me and, you know, bring my mic and everything with me. And I have a little compact setup now. It costs me like 40 or
So
50
what's
bucks.
the roller coaster you've been on?
Oh, no, we're not going there. Oh, you know, Kelly, I think for the last time, I think I'm done. I got my heart broke. I think I'm done.
Oh, that okay. Again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm
sorry.
I think I'm done. Yeah. That's enough of that shit. Gonna have to be one hell of a woman to keep my attention next time. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm pretty damn bitter now. Now I'm starting to understand like why older people that are like in their 60s, 70s, 80, anything that are single and they're bitter, I fucking get it. Now I get it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a dickhead in a few years. I'm just waiting for it to kick in. That's my goal. I gotta hit dickheadery with the asshole, and then I am golden. I'm sure I'll have a woman by then. You know, once I start treating them like crap, maybe I'll get one now. I treat them too
you
good,
just
Granny.
didn't find the right one yet.
I'm too intense. I'm too intense. I love too hard. Oh my god, I've never heard a woman say that to me in my life.
Keep doing that. You're gonna find somebody else. That's the thing. But for me though, I can't wait to get into like I would say 60, 70 and be that old curmudgeon guy sitting on like the porch.
That's gonna be me.
Kids.
Get off my lawn.
That's it. Yeah, that would be me. That would 100% be me at 70. Yeah, I would love that. I don't know why, but I just can't wait.
Well, you know, for me, I mean, I just hit 51, and I just started transitioning a year ago. So good luck with me finding anybody that's not absolutely fucked up in the head around my age that'll date a trans guy. Like, good luck.
I just say, stay you. Don't change you. You're gonna find.
I'm not
somebody.
changing me. I'm just
you're gonna find
games
somebody.
and jumping through hoops and being good to people and getting stomped on. I'm just not doing it anymore. Nobody else gets any special treatment.
No, I hear that. You gotta be good to yourself. Yeah.
Better be
at this point, the Venn diagram of my dating pool is someone who would date a trans woman and is into MILFs.
There you go. There you go.
I think that's about 3 people in this country.
Well, I get people hitting me up online, and then they're like, "Hey, oh, you're trans," poof, and I'm blocked. Like, it's great because you know what really matters at the end of the day is what's in your pants, not what's in your heart. So.
Oh, that's sad. That makes me very sad. Really.
And really, Claire, they're really missing out, because in what other relationship do you get to pick whatever
exactly
phallic type device?
They're not
that's
looking at it
used on
appropriately.
you
gotta
really.
you need
Hard
to look at
24/7. Like
you need to look at the opportunities and the adventure of it. See, that's the kind of woman you need. You need somebody that
I haven't even had my
Yeah.
phalloplasty.
Yeah.
They could literally pick the size. I mean,
and you're open and you're honest about it from the beginning. And it sounds like you
Yeah.
shine a light on the person quite nicely. They're missing out. Yeah.
oh, thanks, honey.
No, they are.
I think
Yeah.
I think you're pretty great too. I haven't
Well,
seen you
thank
in
you.
forever. How you been? You been all
I've
right?
been okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Busy?
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of.
Not as much as usual, because the Hereticals has been on a hiatus, and so it's not been too.
See, I'm always at work when that's on. I can never
Yeah.
catch it.
I know. I've been looking for you over at the shows. I do.
No.
Yeah.
I was being a negative. I don't know, a negative Jeffrey. I don't know, Ken. I don't know. I was been in a bad mood, so I was just avoiding everything for a few weeks there.
Come when I'm there, you can't help but be in a good mood. I'm just a big cracker,
No.
I'll give you a vehicle to just laugh your ass off. That's what you need.
The shills have been keeping a seat open
I have
for you.
not.
Yes, we do. Mhm.
I know. And sometimes I'll pop in and just kind of watch and sit back and laugh with you guys, but I don't really say anything in the chat or anything because I'm just not. I'm coming back around, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go jump on Granny's stream. I haven't seen you in forever, and I miss your face. And how you been?
I've been well.
Good.
I just recently went to Italy, and I got back from that. I did a stream a couple weeks ago that was on my trip to Italy.
I'm peanut butter and jelly. I'm jelly. That's where my ancestors are from. I would love. What part of Italy did you go to?
Amalfi Coast.
Amalfi Coast. Is that on the north, or is that down
No,
on the
it's more.
south? Right.
It's on the south. The southwest. We went to
south.
Positano, to Capri. We went to. We did go to Rome. We went to Pompeii. I have a cousin. She and her husband do this for a living. They take people on tours. She is from the United States. Her husband is a native of Italy, and she was an art history major. And it is absolutely fabulous going on tours with them because she tells us where to find all the great artwork. Yeah, the first morning we were there, we didn't have anything as a group event until 2:30 in the afternoon, and she said, for the morning, there's a church 2 blocks from our hotel. She gave us direction to it, and she said there's 2 masterpieces hanging in this church, so if you've got a few minutes, you might want to go check out these masterpieces. And it was really great having someone with an art history major to show us around.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I move art now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey,
So I've actually met a couple pretty amazing artists already, and I'm like,
I know some
wow,
art.
this
It would
guy.
be really cool if you would move.
Oh, I can move it for you.
Be
move?
careful. Be careful before you volunteer as to where you're going to have to steal it from.
Oh, I said move it. I didn't know
She
you meant
says,
move
it.
One of the things I brought up in the stream was that one thing that made me really angry on the tour was when we went to the Vatican, and they have this hall of statuary, which is all Greek and Roman statues, columns. It was because after the fall of Rome, the Pope was the king of the province of Rome, which was a portion of Italy. The Pope claimed for himself all discoveries of ancient Roman and Greek art. And so when when Italy was united under Mussolini, the Pope was given the keys to the Vatican and was told that he could have the Vatican. So they moved all that artwork into the Vatican, and they have this huge hall that is all ancient Greek and Roman statues. And it just makes me so angry that they would keep that for themselves. It has nothing to do with their religion. Yes, he had a legal right to take it at the time that he did, but really he should give that back to the people of Rome. So if you want to move some art, go to the Vatican,
Yeah.
start stealing the statues one by one, and go donate them to some museums in Rome.
You know
John
what I always
Oliver
say,
just did a
Granny?
thing about museums and about how they should be returning most of their collections to the countries they took it from.
Seriously, they should.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was going to say, praise God and pass around that collection plate. By God, we need another sculpture. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Well, that's mostly how it works, though, right? Just
Aaron
take
said Beck's
limitations
starring in
fall, and
Ocean's
then-
20.
That's AA Ron. We call him AA Ron. Yeah, it's more like 20 in jail. I would make a horrible thief. You know why? Because I can't lie. People people want me to lie. So I'm like, I can't. They're like, just say it. It's just silly. And I'm like, I can't do it.
Then just stand there and be quiet and let me do the talking. I can boulder dash.
Thanks. Because I'd be like, well, what happened, sir, was, oh shit, we stole it. It's in the back of the van. Just go get it. Fuck, here, fuck no. I mean, I'd be done. My old job, Kelly, I swear to God, I would do something stupid, right? Not anything too bad. Not anything that like maybe scratched a piece of equipment or dented in a little piece of metal on a big heavy equipment or something stupid. You know, it was never big, but I always felt horrible about it. So I'd be like, oh man, fuck, what am I going to tell Greg? Okay, I'll tell him that, I know, I'll tell him I was pulling out here and this guy did this and I couldn't stop in time and blah, blah, blah. No. So I'm thinking of something, right? And I get this idea in my head. Okay, I'm going to tell him this, right? I walk in his office and I'm like, hey, Greg, you got a minute? He's like, yeah, what's up, man? And he talks like this. What's up, man? So he turns around and looks at me and I go, shit, I dented the fucking piece of equipment. I just can't. I try to set it up and I can't do it. It's horrible. When I was younger, I lied all the time until I was like 12 years old. And at 12 years old, I was like, you know what? I don't want to lie anymore. I don't like it.
Now, see, I could
So then
convince
by
the
the time I got
security.
to high school, I was lie free, except for the fake notes of me being sick and forging my mom's signature and senior. But you're supposed to do that. But besides that, I just couldn't fucking lie. I just tell people the truth. It just falls out of my mouth. I can't stop it. Don't ask me something if you don't want to know the truth.
I could convince the security guards we were doing a public service to the point that they'd be helping us load the truck.
I believe it. Yeah.
And then she'd hand me a white stick and they'd be like, look, he's a blind guy. Help him out. You know, he's trying to get his shit out of there. Be walking around like smacking him by accident. Oh, did I hit you, officer? Can't see.
Now, see, this is part of why I don't believe in religion anymore. I've seen how easy it is to create legends. There are things that some of my siblings will swear to God that they were at, but I know they are stories I made up and never happened.
Wow.
My little brother used to do a lot of that and saying that, oh yeah, I remember that, Johnny, you were 2.5 years old. You know, I was older than you. I remember this. You know, and it's just he doesn't get it, John. People know. Don't just stop lying.
And also on the contrary to that, I also have photographs of a couple of things my family swears never happened.
Lone Wanderer's Bunker said, I can lie, but I just don't want to keep up with them. I had a boyfriend who could lie as easily as he breathed. And Johnny said you dated Trump.
Oh, I didn't get what that comment was a response to.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just a good thing I developed some ethics. Otherwise, I could have been an evil supervillain.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I never tell stories.
Telling
no,
stories
not
is
you,
about
Jenny.
all I do.
Jenny will sit there and tell you some made up fact, and for a second you'll believe it until you think about it, and then you go, wait, no. And then she's laughing already. It's too late.
Yep.
That's Jenny's thing. She'll get you. She's gotten me so many times. Now I'm to the point
she
where
does
she
that
does it.
in my
I
streams
go,
all the time. She'll get everybody
go,
to.
yeah. Jenny, now you're making that up, aren't you?
I would never do that. I would never ever do that. No.
Yeah, she
We
does
love it
that
when
in
you
my
do it.
streams until everybody on the panel is convinced and someone has to go Google it.
She'll get you. Yeah. Well, the smarter they are,
Huh?
the more they can fuck with us stupid people. Anyways.
I got that talent when I was in college, and we were learning how to act as an agent for the Dunning-Kruger experiments, to how to set people up with situations that they would agree with, that they know all about, and of course it's not true, so they couldn't possibly know all about it, and just to fool them and to set them up on the wrong side of the scale. That's a lie, by the way.
I know it is. I'm not saying anything. I warned them, Jenny. My hands are off now. I warned everybody.
He did the disclaimer, and now he's like, okay, whatever happens.
I told you. But see, she sounded like she was legit. But right at the end, the way I don't know, there's something about her tone of voice. I always know when she's bullshitting me before I even think about what it is now. Well, touche.
Oh, they're definitely braver than I. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I would date
couldn't.
Trump. I would date Trump to convince him to sign over, a couple $100 million to me that I could use for charity.
He's too stingy. He don't give to charity. Like,
The
come
problem
on.
with that is
No,
would
he
agree to it,
wouldn't, but I
it would
could get
actually
him to
follow
sign
through.
something over to me so I could sell it.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Well, that would. Yeah.
He'll give to charity the money he doesn't have that's in assets so he can get more money back at the end of the year that he didn't even pay taxes for. Yeah.
Well, he might have to protect it all from New York, but too bad he can't run a charity in New York anymore. So, oops.
He can't do shit anymore. Did you guys notice that all of his buddies are just like pew, 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 and he's standing there in the middle with his kids, and his kids are like, scoot, 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 scoot. Everybody, even his kids are ditching him. It's great.
You're watching them taking the sidestep on the films when they aim the cameras
Yeah,
now and they go walking over. Ooh, am I in the shot?
Have you noticed that virtually every lawyer who has represented him has been threatened with being disbarred by a judge by now?
Well, there's a lot. Like some of them are actually fighting back. I mean, when your lawyer needs a lawyer to talk to people, like you got a problem. Like Bob had to get a lawyer, and then she threw all the other lawyers under the bus too. Now they all got lawyers too. So his whole team have their own lawyers.
And they're saying on the news, look, they have real lawyers.
Yeah, I know. Better lawyers than Trump because, they actually, they actually pay their lawyers.
Not shysters.
It's not, not real lawyers. It's just a matter of getting paid. He's had some really good lawyers.
Yeah.
If all of them are such amazing,
know.
why don't they just represent each other? But none of them trust the other guy. That says it all right there.
Well,
even
they
the
all
ones
work
that
for.
aren't in trouble, they don't trust.
It's the environment. They all work for Trump. I mean, come on.
I know, and they're all scattering like roaches. You flip the light on, and then one dumb big roach in the middle of the room is going, "Where's everybody going?"
You know that whole case has a problem when a U.S. citizen had to write into the judge to remind him that Trump wasn't president, and she should be referring to them in motions and orders as ex-president or the campaigner Trump.
Former
president.
Yeah.
But she was referring as president. I mean, when an American citizen says, we have one president at a time, get with it. No,
that's what you guys said to us for 4 years. So
but that's part of the case now. Because if you write into the judge, they got to submit it in there. It's in there. You can find it on Pacer. I was laughing.
A lot of people still refer to Obama as President Obama.
Yeah, but it's former president.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it's not unusual to refer to a former.
But in a legal document by a judge, I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, that's not. That should not be.
Yeah, legal documents have to have precise wording.
I mean,
that's just telling me who she's for already.
Right. When I look at it, a judge is supposed to at all times, whatever they believe, to present themselves in an unbiased manner. And so I think language is important, especially in an order that you're putting in black and white. Like, catch yourself.
I think politically the best thing we can do right now is to agree with Trump that he's still president. And that way, come 2024, he can't run.
Well, maybe, and also maybe he'll lock himself up because he's the one that wrote all those like stronger laws during his actual presidency on how to handle these documents and what should happen to you, because he was trying to catch Democrats. So he actually put into motion stricter regulations. So maybe he should be president and lock his own ass up over this stuff, because he's the one who put the balls in the motion there. He set the precedent for it, and then just decided the rules that he actually made don't even apply to him. It's rich.
It's rich. But I said one time between me and one other guy, if any paperwork leaves the White House, it's automatically declassified if I take it.
What
are you saying?
It was in a golf outing when I got a birdie there at one time. You know,
like you really think it's gonna work like that? Oh no, I said that. It's fine.
Yeah, I said that because if I thought it's true. I thought I declassified them, so therefore I have the power. It's done. Don't ask me
when. How many
when.
people here wonder what was written on all the little pieces of paper in the toilet that it used to flush? How many people wonder? I do.
Yeah.
I would love to read those rantings of a crazy.
Yeah, I do. I do. And here, like, I chose the special master, but the special master had the nerve to ask me for when did I declassify everything. The nerve of you, sir. You know you're baddie. You shouldn't even be the special master. Like, who voted you in? You did, your team. Like, you agreed. Whoops. Like, come on, it's too funny. It's just it's rife with comedy. It's serious, but you have to laugh at it because you just can't make this stuff up.
You have to laugh at the absurdity, but the gravity of the situation is tremendous.
Right.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Yeah. It's the only way I can deal with it is to laugh at it. Yeah.
It's kind of funny because they're busting all of them now, so I think it's kind of funny now.
It kind of is.
Because I'm just like, I told you, dumbasses.
Yeah,
I just sat back and waited. I said this shit years ago, and I sat back and waited, and here we are, and everything's happening that I pretty much predicted.
I mean, who makes their top campaign person a snake oil salesman? Like, come on. Anybody from the East Coast?
Snake oil salesman?
Yeah, anybody from the East Coast that knew anything about Trump's dealings, when they're actually marketing him as a good businessman with 17 bankruptcies on file.
Did you see the footage where when
hundreds of lawsuits?
Did you see the footage where he was president and they had it was some Veteran Day thing that he was at, and he was hugging all the veterans that were, in wheelchairs. They just had them lined up for him to hug. And now all these people I know that are vets are like, oh, look what he does for vets. He loves vets. And they're sending me pictures of him hugging vets. I'm like,
was it at the same day
anybody can hug a vet? You going to put me in the presidency because I hugged a vet?
But was it that same week they voted down the package? It was the same week.
Because you know what? I went in the Army.
Yeah.
Unlike some people. Anyways.
Okay, what were you saying, Claire?
That's the same. I believe there was a whole big rigmarole about that if it's around the same time, because the Republicans voted down the AIDS package to the disabled veterans at the same week. He was out there during Veterans Day, hugging veterans, and they're voting against them getting increased benefits and getting mental health protections and all this other stuff. So, it was quite bizarre.
And they keep defunding the veterans hospitals.
Exactly.
I know some vets that when Trump first got in office, the first year he was in, they got benefits they had been waiting on. They all think he did it. For anybody that doesn't know how this works, the first year to 2 years, it's just shit left over from the previous administration.
Yeah. Listen,
unless you're doing something like taking action, signing bills, putting legislation through, the things that just like, oh, look, unemployment's up, it's worse. Oh, it's Biden's fault. No, if it was the first year, it's left over from Trump. That's just how it works. So the problem is that when you put someone in for 4 years and you don't get that other 4 years, by the time they just get past all the shit the other asshole did, their term's half over.
Well, that's because people don't
And then
look
they
at
have
who
2 years to
submitted
do something.
bills or where it came from. Like nobody actually pays, even though that process is all out in the open. Like you can actually go look at what bills are coming up and who put it forward and where it's coming from and what process it's in. Nobody actually goes and checks, and they let people take credit for these kind of stuff because it's not out there. But if you actually listen to the man, even during the campaign speeches or when they had the debates, right? He knows nothing about process or how to get anything done. He doesn't even know how the country worked. Like he didn't know the 3 branches of government. He doesn't know who does what. He doesn't know anything about procedures. So the fact that they actually think he got a law passed in their behavior is like beyond me.
You know what? I told you guys to vote for me instead of him. No one listened.
I would have voted for you, Beck. Where were you?
I'm telling you, there would be gay clubs and non-binary and asexual clubs everywhere. Everybody would have equal rights, like everybody.
Would you stay out of my uterus? I'll vote for you. If you stay out of my uterus, I'll vote for you.
I don't know about children.
And I would do all of that in 1 year before they killed me.
Before they killed you? Oh my
no, they would if I did all that.
I voted for Lavender Lady because she promised me a cabinet position.
There you go.
Like counter or in the bottom drawer? What position in the cabinet?
Top drawer?
Countertop, top drawer, bottom drawer?
Up on the top? Like on the
I think top? Purple. I think purple is taking the 5th.
No, she's got the slide out. Perp's got the slide
I'm telling
out.
you, that's the political right move right there, Purple. You should run for office. That was the right move. Silence. I'm not saying.
Well, no.
Somebody's got to shut up around here. I don't.
No, you actually caught me when I didn't have a good comeback for that.
Sorry.
That's pretty rare for me, so you accomplished something there.
Look, you guys, seriously. Jenny, write that down for me. Mark it on the calendar. That is the first time that I have said something funny that Purple didn't have a comeback for. Seriously, ever in my life.
I was waiting for a comeback having to do with sex positions.
Oh.
But I couldn't figure out a way to incorporate the counter into that.
I kind of had half of one, but I couldn't really put it all together, so it didn't work.
I mean, there's a way to figure the counter into it. It just doesn't have a name yet for the position that we would call it.
I don't think I could do it in a cabinet.
I beg your pardon. There are positions.
It's like education time. All right, wait. Let me go get my pen and paper.
I can't bend enough to get inside a cabinet.
This will probably
I was going to say when I was younger, but my
cabinet.
Back. Yeah, when I was much younger, but my back doesn't bend that well anymore.
Right.
I used to be able to curl myself up in a tight little ball.
I could too. I could be very tiny if I wanted to.
Thank you, Johnny. That's exactly what I was saying. That record raised military gut under Trump was passed during Obama's administration. See, I didn't even know that, but see, that's what always happens. This is the first year. It's not that president doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and most of the finance stuff done in government is to take place 5 years after it's signed.
And also, by the way, our economic issues, it's global economy, folks. It's not, there's not a president doing anything. We all affect each other. If somebody else's economy goes down and their shit's lower, ours ends up because we all, us and China and Russia and whoever else, we all rely on each other. We're all connected.
Like everybody bitching about the gas prices.
Global economy. It's not one country.
Yeah,
it's
everybody bitching about the gas prices, and it's like, that's affecting every country in the world. You know, they're all having that problem. And most of that is having to do with Saudi Arabia putting a stranglehold on it.
They're doing it on purpose because people are against Russia. So what did Biden do? He released a whole bunch out of the reserve and said, we got plenty. Take this and lower the damn gas. Now, that's what a president should fucking do. That's why we have it there. We can put it back. It's not like we're not going to get a whole bunch more oil by next year.
That's why we have stockpiles and reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Claire mentioned that she needs to get going. She has another commitment coming up in a few minutes. So, Claire, is there anything else that you would like to add? And would you like to make one last plug
Only,
for your channel?
well, I have a channel. That's the plug. Period. That's it. I talked enough before, but this was so enjoyable. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the invite. I love every single person up here streaming with them. They're always quite entertaining with good thought, and it's always just you never know where it's gonna go. And I had a very good time. So thank you for having me, and thank you, chat, for tolerating. So I'll bow out now. Enjoy the rest of the stream. And,
Okay, thanks.
I'll catch you.
Bye,
later.
Claire.
Good night.
Good night, all. Okay.
Take care, sweetheart.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, now I'm feeling like the lone man out because I'm the only one on camera. Everyone else is an avatar.
Turn on your avatar.
Atheist Uprising will be back, but he had some computer issues that he needed to work on. But he will be back.
I was coming back on camera. I'm just chubby right now. I don't want anybody to see my gut when I stand up.
Okay.
See, I can't even lie about that. That's why I always go to Icon when I get up. It's true. So what else you been doing? I mean, I haven't been able to keep up with your streams.
Shut up. I wish people would stop blaming the computer. I have computer problems. No, you have an operating system problem. You use Windows. As long as you use Windows, your whole life is going to be shit. Okay, I'm done.
I maintain that the operating system is called Windows because I can see all my files, but I can't actually get to any of them.
Those are called locked windows.
You asked what else is new? Lately
Yeah,
I've been
Johnny.
doing a lot of response videos to various apologists. There we go. I can't talk tonight. And one thing that's kind of funny is how hit and miss they are. The response I did to Frank Turek has been by far my most popular video yet. Now, I do have one video that has more views, and that's the one that I did as a collab with Paula Gia, but that's because of Paula Gia. The one with Frank Turek is the first one I ever did by myself, no collab, that got over 3,000 views.
No shit.
He's such a dick.
That's awesome, Kelly. Damn. Look at you.
The one with Inspiring Philosophy also got over 1,000. But evidently people aren't as enamored with Cocal, or let's see, there's another one. What's the other one? The most recent one I just did. Who was that? Now I can't even. Oh, Friel, Todd Friel.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised that more people didn't watch that one because he's an absolute nut job too.
I have actually been falling behind to the point that I now have a watch list of over 200 videos that I haven't had time to catch up on, and I know 2 of yours are in there.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I've been falling behind myself, and I've been putting some things on watch list. But yeah, not that many. Yeah, that's going to take a while.
Well, I used to be able to put them on to listen to while I was working on projects, but lately I've been doing stuff I haven't been in my apartment for, so I have not had the couple hours every day to listen to those that I used to have.
Yeah, Lone Wanderer asked, did Matt Powell ever find my video and respond? I don't believe so. I made one responding to Matt Powell that was entitled How to Be a Decent Person, and examples of what not to do if you want to be a decent person. No, I don't think he found that one. But God the Scummer and I are going to put together a collab. The entire purpose of which is to catch the attention of Kent Hovind and try to get him to whack us. Because Scummer pointed out that Hovind's favorite targets are intelligent females and Brits. So he figured if we did one together, we'd have his two most hated people together. I'm still looking for exactly what we should respond to. I looked at one video of his, but I said, "Nah, this was too boring. There just isn't anything to say."
I mean, really, just I don't know. You should do like a roulette wheel, just like spin all the videos and then just click and see which one you get, because you're just going to be digging anyways. It's going to be
Well, most of his
some of his
videos that
stuff
I've
is so
seen,
like this.
most of his videos that I've seen are just commercials for his so-called Dinosaur Adventureland, which is
Mhm.
sorely lacking in dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And adventure. It is on a piece of land though, so you got that.
Yeah. I forget who it was. Somebody went through there. They drove through the whole park, and including like some plywood cutouts on the gates and some playground equipment. They counted 6 dinosaurs.
Oh, really?
That's good. That's
pretty-
good.
Six
He's getting
dinosaurs.
somewhere.
Were they all like this tall and looked like they came out of like the Hallmark store, or
Yeah, definitely none of them are life
Dollarama,
size.
Dollar Tree.
you wind them up and they play Christmas music or something?
Johnny asks, "What about your solo on Vice Rhino?" I don't count that one because that's technically his program, even though I made it. I made it for him, and it's on his channel. It's not on my channel. And Lone Wanderer
Oh.
said, "Why not respond to Ken's criminal convictions?" I won't do that for one reason, and that is because Atheist Junior has kind of made that a big project, and he has so much research into that and so much work into that. I just don't feel like I've got anything that of value that I could add to what he's already done.
Yeah, good point.
Which is also why I won't go there alone. I only live 4 hours away from Dinosaur Adventureland, and I've had a couple of people suggest that I go, and I wouldn't mind going, but I would not go alone. I would be afraid to go to that place alone.
Vlog it. If you're gonna go, you must vlog. That would be one of the greatest vlogs ever happening.
Not only would I vlog it, but I would stick like a hidden camera in my on my chest or something in case
Right?
anybody tries to harass you, and then you have evidence.
Yes.
I would. Oh my god, that would make such good shit if they figured out like wear an atheist shirt today. Just wait for him to notice.
Yeah, you get a
Yes.
police body cam and you hide it under an atheist, one of those pullovers they've got, and just enough of a hole for the lens to see through.
This is a good idea. God the Scummer and I could do Whack a Christian.
Or you could just set it up and whack the Christians. Do more than one. Have fun with it.
My only problem with that is my biggest criticism about his Whack an Atheist is the whole idea of it. He says, "Oh, we're whacking you in love." But come on, you don't whack someone in love. And whack is also a euphemism for killing someone, which I don't care to use that kind of language against anyone.
Well, maybe you can put it in a different context, like.
Or we could use a different word instead of
Yes.
whack.
Yes. Like theist takedown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or others. A soft hand.
Smack a Christian.
Smack a That would be good. That would be good.
Or slap. Slap. I'm good with slap. I'm good with smack, but I'm not good with whack.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense.
I feel like I'm on the set of the Goodfellas when people say whack.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Whack him. That's because we're older. It doesn't mean the same. Now it's just all about whack. Never mind.
Late night show with.
I was gonna say I've done some kinky shit in my life, but I've never whacked a woman.
Yep.
Lone Wanderer says you could interview Kent's ex-wives. You know who I really would want to interview? Rather than Kent's ex-wives, I would like to interview former employees of Ken's ARC.
That
Paula
would be very
Gia got one.
interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Paula
That'd be
Gia
very
got one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would be really
Was it
good.
juicy?
Yes, it was. Especially about how you have to be in church on Sunday, but being in church on Sunday is not an excuse for being late to work on Sunday.
Interesting. Well, is work within the church?
No, no. That's one of the complaints that I had that I'm not sure was caught by Ken's legal team, which is I was reading some of the requirements for some of his jobs that he has advertised. And listed in the requirements for most of the jobs is that you attend church every Sunday. And I don't think they realized that if any of their employees ever got hurt at church, they could make a work comp claim. You made
My
this
work
a
said I had to go.
requirement of my job that I go to church. I got hurt at church. This is a work-related injury.
Never thought of that angle.
Spending most of my life in transportation, I think about that a lot. Like I tell people, I'm like, just because we're not at the office, we're still in a company truck.
Well, yeah, when they're
Like,
paying you to drive.
Which is why most truck drivers are not employees. They're independent contractors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
wouldn't
don't
know
owe work
about
comp to any.
most.
Oh, really?
That would not be accurate, but a
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
I thought it was the majority now.
I thought it was too.
Well, you got to think that like companies like Swift, Transportation, because there's just Swift Enterprises too. I don't want to fuck them up. Schneider, JB Hunt, all those guys, they have like, as of about 6 years ago, they all had over 6,000 trucks on the road at any given time. That's just 3 of the big companies. You got Yellow, Roadway, FedEx, UPS. I mean, I can sit here and list a whole bunch of them. They're huge companies, and they literally have a wreck every minute and a half because they have so many trucks on the road. Every like 95 to 99 seconds, one of them has a wreck. One of those companies. Oh, just happened.
Yeah.
I wonder who it was. Somebody just wrecked.
Well, a lot of the Amazon
literally.
drivers are independents. But as part of their contract with Amazon, they are still required to have the Amazon name on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amazon solves that by giving them the trailer.
Mm.
I actually worked at Amazon in a yard in Ohio. I was a spotter driver when Amazon said, hey, we're going to change it and do all of our transportation for all of our trailers and blah, blah, blah. And we're buying trucks. We're going to do it all in-house now. So out of 8 of us that worked for the other company, they hired 2 of us, me and my buddy. Everybody else, fuck them, because they weren't doing their job right. And they put me in charge of the yard. And I was part of like that whole thing evolving. I was shuttling trailers back and forth to the offsite lot and everything. And like, I helped set it all up. It was a huge thing. And now they have airplanes and blah, 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 and now they have all these, they bought a whole, I don't know, probably thousands and thousands of trailers. All those blue trailers with the smiley face on them. They bought a shit ton of them. They bought pups and everything. And then they started buying big trucks. Eventually what they're doing is they're going to cut out. Their transportation is only going to be done by Amazon. They're going to keep it all in-house. So eventually UPS, FedEx, when they lose Amazon, they're fucked. And so is the USPS too.
Actually, from several
They're gonna lose
things
a
I
lot of
read,
money.
Amazon was going the other direction. And it was pushing drivers to become independents.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure they are because they don't want the liability.
Right.
Independent contractors are way better for them. They don't have to worry about training. They don't have to insure them. Like if people have contractors with a company, they have to have so much money in escrow. And sometimes it's 5,000, 8,000, sometimes it's 13,000. They have to have an escrow build up. So if their truck breaks down, they can fix it right away. And that guy can get his freight moved still. So there's a lot of legalities in it too. But it's better for the company to have independent contractors. And the contractors
well, that's
get
why I
paid
was
more,
reading.
but they have to jump through the hoops.
That's why I was reading that was better for the company, but the independent drivers were pretty much getting screwed on it because they were stuck with so many of the expenses. And especially when the fuel prices made the big jump.
Oh, I know. I moved back towards town. I moved 30 minutes closer to town because I got sick of paying to fill up my pickup truck.
Yeah.
Going all the way outside of town. I was using $20 every time I went to town and back. $20 in gas.
Yeah, well, that's like
doing
where
this
we
shit.
lived in Michigan. It was an hour drive to the nearest Walmart.
See,
But
you know.
now it's just the opposite here. That everything is within 5 miles of our building.
Boy,
Yep.
drive 20 miles to a warm Walmart. Talk about disappointing.
Oh no, not 20 miles. It was a solid hour drive. It was about 50, 60 miles. We actually had to drive
Jenny's
into the
point
next
was you
state
drove
to
all
get
that.
to the nearest Walmart.
Jenny's point was you went all that way and all you had was a Walmart. That's very disappointing. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, the nearest Target was 4 hours away.
Well,
But where was the nearest restaurant?
There were a couple of little local places in town.
Okay, that's more important.
We have only one place that's we have two, one and a half places that serves food here. It's a bar that does lunch burgers and that kind of stuff. They're actually pretty good. And then across the street and down the ways is Sub-Zero Pizza. Why would you want to call pizza Sub-Zero? But they do, and they're open like from 3 or 4 till 10 or 11, something like that.
do they sell subs or just pizza?
Just pizza.
That's why no subs. They only do pizza. It has nothing to do with the temperature.
Yeah, except their logo has ice on it and thermometers.
Oh,
and
now
stuff.
that's just
So-
stupid. Why do they give me that?
I
Don't
can
know.
understand it in Minnesota that they're trying to make the point of no matter how cold it gets, we'll deliver.
No, they don't deliver.
Oh, I was thinking the point was that when it's cold outside, it's good to get a hot pizza. We'll provide hot pizza when it's cold, and since
Yep.
in Minnesota it's cold 10 months out of the year, that covers most of the time.
It's not cold 10 months of the year.
Okay, 11.
There you go. Thank you.
Johnny, they don't need to access people's mailboxes. And you're right,
Yeah.
only the USPS can touch a mailbox. You can't even touch someone else's mailbox. It's a federal crime.
Yep.
But the great thing about that Amazon's so smart about is they bought all those fucking Sprinter vans who get great gas mileage. And they have all these people hired everywhere to drive those little vans around, and they just set it on your front doorstep.
As
They're
far
still
as the
making more money.
mailboxes, we've got a notice here posted in the hallway that they're going to be installing an Amazon hub in our building.
Cool.
They're sticking them everywhere. The convenience stores, the shithole convenience stores, out on the edge of town, the town that I live up by, they have Amazon hubs, and they're like shitholes. Like people are like robbing the place and shit. There's an Amazon hub out in front. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, we are getting to the end of our time, so I'm going to wrap things up and give everyone a chance to plug their own channels, and then we'll shove off. And Jenny, I know you don't have a channel, but you've certainly got people that you like to shell for. So we'll go around and do that. Beck, we'll go ahead and let you start.
Well, we got let's see, what's that name? Orange or tangerine? Yeah.
Oh no, there's colors. Purple.
Tangerine rhymes with pineapple. Show tomorrow at noon. And then again on Thursday at 10 o'clock Central. And that's it.
Okay.
I'm too sick to do anything.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get to feeling better.
I hope so too. It's been 3 weeks now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was about a month for me before I got through it.
It's crazy.
Well, I've been saving up all the phlegm that I cough up. We're up to like 2 quarts now. No, this is not true.
You going to distill it and turn it into gin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Shit, and people like coughing up shit. That's my too hard nose. I can't. I almost Ralph.
Oh, come on.
Huge bowl of chili.
She's got a perfect marketing label for Jen Jin.
You know what? She'd probably just be better off selling used underwear. She'd probably get that.
Actually, when I built competition motors in the past, we had little plaques made up that named them Jenny Gins.
Mm.
There you go.
Carol says she's ready to barf now.
See, I know, Carol. Me too. Thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. I mean, I could take blood and people's hands being cut off, but man, you put a booger on me, I'm gonna Ralph. I can't.
I've raised a lot of kids, so it's like when it's happening, I can keep contained enough to see that they got the medical attention and clean up the mess, and then I'll fall apart.
Do you eat oysters, Beck? Do you eat oysters?
Me?
Yeah.
I have not
Snails?
raw.
Ever snails?
They have to be steamed, but I love steamed oysters.
Clams? You ever had clams?
Yes.
So what's the difference with boogers?
That the boogers taste fishy.
See, you got to deep fry them.
It's a good amount of protein too. It's not like just one little tiny. Okay, I can't do that.
Okay, Josh, let's let you give a last plug for your channel.
All right. So first off, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on your show. This has been an amazing experience. So thank you. And interacting with everybody has been great. And I wish that we can do this again at some point.
Oh, we definitely will.
So my show is called The Atheist Uprising. We predominantly for now, we're doing interviews and we're also having topic matter discussions. But in the future, we're actually going to go more into depth into another series called World at War, in a sense, where we're actually going to go and delve into certain parts of the world where there are conflicts and discuss how those conflict matters might be resolved or how could one side win against the other. I already had the first episode was with Ukraine and Russia, in a sense. So that's on my channel already. But I'm still thinking about future episodes. And for now, I'm thinking the next episode is going to be China and Taiwan. But besides that, now my mind is all over the place. My apologies.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Welcome to my world,
so you've got some stuff on World War III. Okay.
Exactly. We got some stuff on the upcoming World War III, and no, I'm just kidding. And what we're going to do is go into some sciences as well. We're going to delve into some philosophy, and then we're going to delve into more just community get-togethers and everything like that online. And then hopefully we can start putting that on the field itself and have areas where atheists could come together and actually have discussions on the street, literally, with and buildings and stuff like that. So that's the dream for now. But 5'4".
Yeah, sitting down, brother.
Sometimes I wish.
Sitting down, he's 5'4". He stands up, he's 7'2" or something.
That's right. But again, thank you for having me on the show. It was awesome interacting with every one of you. Thank you very much. And I hope we can do this again at some point.
Okay, very good. Purple.
Well, Jen, you already plugged my channel, so all I've got to add to that is that I'm usually on the shows on Saturdays at 6 Central.
Okay. And Beck, when are you having anything on?
I pretty much quit streaming, and once in a while I just do a random because I feel like it and it's fun and it surprises people. But you will find me hanging out with student Dr. Ben over on his stuff, and we do trivia on Friday nights on his Twitch. And then come and watch Let's Get Real About Mental Health with Mom and Deb. And we're trying to build up her channel, and she is on Monday nights at 9 Nope. 10 Eastern.
Okay. Very
on
good.
Monday nights. That's it.
And next week, my guest will be Reason to Doubt. And the scripted video coming out this week is on, it's actually a bit of a hodgepodge because there were 3 different small things that I wanted to talk to, and I just kind of meshed them all together, all dealing with politics and religion. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to the chat for your wonderful comments, and everyone just and thank you so much to my guests for bailing me out at the last minute. Live your life.
Peace out.
Good night, all.
Bye bye. Don't get caught.